Hi guys, good evening. Okay, let me share my screen. So today, what we need to discuss, that means in the last class, what we discussed, like how to log in the process and what type of licenses are there. Okay, and how we need to sign up the things, and after sign upping, how you need to log into the Power Apps site. Okay. So now today what we need to discuss is like so in Power Apps, what are the different tabs are there? Okay, what are the different tabs are available in Power Apps? Okay, and how to create an environment and how to give the access and how to give environment access to different people. Okay, so next one is like types of what are the apps, what are the apps we can create in Power Apps. Next one, like connecting to different data sources like OneDrive, Google Sheets, everything. Okay, let's see how we can. So in the last class, we are discussing about how to sign up the things in the Power Apps. That part it is completed. Today, after login to the Power Apps, we are having a different tabs out there. What those tabs will do, everything that we can discuss it. Understand? So once first I need to go to the Power App site. So you already save those credentials, right? Those credentials, if you want to sign up into Power Apps, means what is the URL for this one? Microsoft dot Power Apps, powerapps.microsoft.com. Okay. In that, what you have to do, click on sign in. So once you sign up, the things are complete. If you want to sign up the thing, this is, you have to use it. If the sign up process is completed, then you have to click on sign in. Once you click on sign in, then you have to give proper proper mail ID and password. Okay. Whatever mail ID you are saved, with that mail ID and password, you need to log into the Power Apps. Okay. Once you log into the Power Apps, see, this is how the Power Apps will look like this. Power Apps is a cloud-based environment. That's the reason that for Power Apps, no software is required. So just you need to log into the particular site, and after login with your credentials, so this is how it will look like this. Understand clearly. So here, whenever you click on this one, okay, you will have a different applications which is provided by Microsoft 365. If you are taking Microsoft 365, what are the apps is available in Microsoft 365? See here, Power Automate, Power Apps, Power BI, all these things. Not only this one. If you click on this one, then you will see the different apps which is available in Microsoft 365. Understand clearly? So right now we are connecting with the Power Apps. Suppose you want to connect with the Power Automate also, same. That is different. Okay. So what are all for Microsoft 365? What are all the apps are available? Those you can see it here. Understand clearly. Okay. So and here in the search bar, like what see anything you can find it. Like suppose in Power BI, whenever you open a Power BI desktop, on the top you will see the search bar, right? Whenever you click on the search bar, there itself you can type anything in that one, then automatically you from there itself you connect it. Here also doing the same thing. Suppose for example you don't know where the app you created, I want to connect with that app. Suppose if you remember the name of that particular app, then you can click here in the search bar, you can type, like suppose for example OneDrive. Okay, suppose I created OneDrive app. See here, whenever you type like this, so this app, whatever OneDrive app you created, that it will comes here. Not only this one. Suppose I want to connect with a table. Okay. Suppose for example, don't. See here. So what are the apps you created? What are the apps you want to create it? Everything it is available here itself. Suppose for example, in this one, if you want to create a Canvas app, model driven app, portal app, okay, these are the different apps is there. So if you type it in the search bar, there itself, like see here, when you come down, if you want to connect with Excel server data, okay, create that particular one, those are all the things are available here itself. Understand clearly or not? Okay, so that means in this search bar, whatever apps you created, if you want to connect to those particular apps, or else if you want to create any, there are different types of apps, I will tell you. Okay, so if you want to create a new apps, there itself in the search bar, you can click on the search bar, and suppose if you want to create this particular app, then you have to click on this one. If you want to click on, so if you already create, the apps are created. If you want to connect to that one, so in my apps, under my apps, whichever you selected, that app automatically it will open. Understand? And next one is environment. Okay. So this part is very important. What is this environment? Okay. Suppose, for example, by default, when you log into the Power Apps, after login to the Power Apps, what will happen here? It is by default, it will take the default environment. That means that default environment is like organizational environment. That means what organization you are logged into that this particular site. So the default environment it will take it. So that means whenever you are choosing a default environment, whatever app you created, everyone able to access this particular apps. Whatever apps you created, all are able to access that particular. So that's the reason. Don't use the default environment. Okay, don't use default environment. Always you have to create a new environment. In that environment only you can create an applications. Whenever you create a new environment, what is environment? That means it is similar like a server. Environment is nothing but a server. That means whatever apps you are created, those apps, suppose for example, if it is SQL server, that means so other people except you, any other people outside of the organization, people can access that server? No. Okay, so that's the reason. For security reason, they are maintaining a different servers. Okay, in each and not only this application, for any application, they are maintaining a different servers. Okay, so in Power Apps, we can call it as that, we can call it as environment. Okay, so by default, it is selected the default environment. So don't create any applications in the default environment, because other people also access your apps. So that's the reason you have to create environment. So if I want to create an environment, what you have to do first of all? So here, so for environment creation, you need to go to the settings. Okay, this is a settings icon. In this settings icon, you will see an option called, admin center. What is that? Admin center. Under the environment, there is an option called admin center. When you click on the admin center option, okay, so what you have to do, suppose for example, after login to that particular site itself, and see here, there is a get started option is there. Okay, and so in the left side, this is in Power Platform admin center. Okay, if you want to give the access or remove the access, everything here itself you can do it. Understand? So for environment creation, what you have to do, in the left side, there is an option called environment. Okay. So once you click on environment, so after clicking on environment, on the top, you will see an option called new. Okay. So if you want to create a new environment, then you have to click on new option. Understand clearly or not? It is loading. Yeah, Lalli Kumari, I think Lalli Kumari. So that you need to check with Sham. Sham will provide. Okay. So is a see one class only it will happen. Okay. That means how you need to sign up the process to the Power Apps. That only we discussed on Friday. So one class only it is happening. So this is the second class for this. Understand clearly or not? Okay, so check with Sham. Sham will provide the video for that particular one, and so if you so you need to go through that video. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Understand? Okay. So now when you come to the environment, there is an option called environment. Okay. For this one here, what you have to do is you have to give the name of the environment. That means, suppose I'm giving like this. Like this, I'm giving. Name, any name you can give it here. And after giving this name, so what you have to do is, here itself, there are different types of modes will be there. Okay, developer mode and production mode, trial and sandbox related. Okay, so that means if you're so in the Power Apps, if you're taking a license one, these are the three different you have to use. Three different, any of the type you have to use it. Understand clearly. Suppose I'm using a trial version. For trial version, you have to click on the trial version and click on. So because I'm using a free version, right? If I'm using a free version, then you need to take the type as trial. Understand clearly. And click on add a Dataverse data store option is there, because whatever apps you created for that particular apps, we required a data storage, right? So for that one, data storage, Dataverse data storage also required. You have to on this one and select this particular one. And see here, there is a security group is there, right? Okay. If you click on next, what will happen? So this tab will come set. So here, when you click on trial and selected add Dataverse data storage, so click on next. Once you click on next, there is a security group option is there. Okay, in that you have to select none. This is an option and click on done. See, once the environment here itself, the environment is created. Okay. New environment is successfully created. Okay. So this is how you need to create an environment here itself. Not only two environments, like one environment, you can create a different environments also. One is production environment, another one is suppose for example development environment, sorry, production and development. That means if you want to develop any apps in the Power Apps, means you have to choose development environment. Okay, so once you want to move all this all the development environment, the development apps what you created, that I want to move to the production, then you have another environment like production. Okay, like in the organization level, we have to maintain two different environments. Understand clearly? So this is how you can create an environment. Suppose, for example, I created an environment, but so whatever environment you created, I need to give access to the different users. Suppose, for example, in your team, you are the admin person. So one of the person need to join your group itself. That means you need to give access this your environment to that particular person, because he also need to create an apps, he also need to create an applications, right? So that's the reason what you have to do in the organization level. If you want to give environment, whatever environment you created, that environment access to other users, because whatever apps you are created under the environment, he also can see all the apps, and he also need to create an applications in that particular environment. So for that, what you have to do is select the environment. Understand? Here itself, in under the environment, you have to select the environment. Suppose, for example, you close this one. Like suppose you close this environment, you already created. So after realizing that, you want to give access to that particular person. See, this is an environment. Whatever environment you created, that means you need to select, instead of selecting default environment, you have to select the environment what you created. How you can select it means, see here, environment tab is here itself, it is there. Click on that one. When you click on that one, whatever environment you created, here itself you have to select that particular one. Then that environment name will comes here. Understand? Suppose, for example, I want to give this environment access to the different users. Suppose, for example, I created this environment. In this environment, I created different applications. All these applications in my team member, I also need to access that one. Then what I need to do, I need to give the access to him or her. Okay, so for that, what you have to do, again, you have to go to the settings. Under the settings, you have to go to admin center. Okay, so once you click on admin center, click on environments tab. Once you click on environments tab, okay, it's loading. Once it is loaded, like you have to select the environment and go to the settings option. I will tell you what to do. So once you came here in this environment, whatever environment access you want to give to the different, that environment you have to select. So after selecting an environment, okay, name, whatever environment name is there, that you have to select it and click on settings icon. Okay, under the settings icon, so click on settings icon. Under the settings icon, you will have an option called users plus permissions. Okay, so under this one, so click on the users plus permissions. Under the users plus permissions, you will have an option called users. Okay, so click on, see here, there is an option under that one. There is an option called add user. Okay, so click on this one. You have to give that particular person mail ID here. Understand? Suppose, for example, I'm giving like this. Okay, one of the person like, okay, so I'm giving one of the person like this and click on add. Once you click on add, so here we have a different roles will be there. Enable Microsoft active licenses. Okay, actually you need to give proper mail ID here. Okay, once you are getting an licenses for each and everything, you will, if you give the mail ID here and click on add, then automatically, so the environment, whatever environment you created, that environment he is also able to access it. But here we are using a free version, right? So if you are taking a license one, then we have to use then we have to give that particular mail ID, then only we can give environment access to the different people. Understand clearly or not? So up to now, what we discussed it, how you can create an environment, the same environment, how you need to give the different people, like where you need to go. So under the environment, okay, you have to select that particular environment, whatever environment you created, select that particular one. On the top, you will see settings icon. Okay, under the settings icon, there is an option called users plus permissions. Okay, under that, if you expand that one, you will have an options called users. Select that one. After selecting that one, you have to give the mail ID which you want to give an access. Okay, understand? So once you are giving an access to that particular person, he is also able to see the environment, what you created and everything. He's also able to see it. He's also able to access all the apps there itself. Okay, so see here, select this one and click on settings. Under the settings and under the users plus permissions, you have to select the users. Under the users, you have to click on add user here. So whatever user, what is your mail, what is your colleague's mail ID is there, that you need to click, give it here and click on add. Understand clearly or not? Okay, this is how we need to give the environment access. Understand? So once your environment is created, you have to select that environment. Sometimes what will happen is, after login to this after login to Power Apps, sometimes a default environment is selected. So that's the reason after login to the Power Apps, for must and should, you have to check whether your proper environment is selected or not. Here, you need to check it. If it is not there, you have to click on this one and select your environment. And after that, you need to create any applications or anything like that. Okay. So sometimes by default environment will be selected. Okay. And here, so here the notifications, if any new things or anything is there, or else like so what things you uploaded and everything, like those related information recently, what are the things you have to do it. So those things, notifications added here itself. And here, this is a settings icon. In this settings icon, there are different tabs up there. In this tabs itself, giving admin center. Admin center means complete for Power Apps related, any access or removing access, anything, any option related. Here itself, it is available. Understand? So, and plans, like there are different licenses. What are the licenses and everything here itself, it is there. Okay. And for advanced settings, what will happen is, if you want to load like some settings icon will be there. That means if you want to load the sample data, okay, and remove the sample data from the default tables, anything, if you want to do it here itself, you can do it here. Understand? So See here, this is complete settings. Like see here, if you click on this, you click on this drop down, there are different options are there. So if you want to load any templates or customization related, for administration related, that means giving an access, removing an access, all this here also you can do it. Okay, security, sir, for security, what type of security you need to give to the different people, here itself it is divided, decided. And the data management, like if any data is loaded in Power Apps, those related information, suppose for example, uh, you are loading the data. After loading the data, your team members are also having an access for that environment. After that, whatever the data you are loaded, those related data, I don't want to give access to that particular person. Then here itself, you can do all the things here. Understand clearly. So if you want to email configuration, like sending a mail, okay, whether the app is updated properly or not, these type of mail configuration, here itself you can do it. Okay, all the things here itself you can do it. And so remaining options are not required, so that is fine. And when it comes to the left pan, okay, this is a left pan. Okay, when it comes to the left pane, okay, so here there are different options, there are different tabs are available. Home, in home, suppose for example, if you want to start creating some apps or anything, okay, or else some sample templates are also available. Okay, that means if you don't know how to create a Power Apps and everything, so get to learn each and everything, how to create a Canvas app, model driven app, all the apps, how we can create it here, everything, some tutorials are available here. By using this also, you can learn it and you can implement and you can create an applications here itself. Understand? So most of the times we don't want to use home. Okay, go to the create. Next one is create app. So here itself, like there are different types of apps we can create in Power Apps. Like what are those things? Like suppose for example, there are different apps we can create it. One is in Power Apps, we can create different types of applications. One is Canvas app, model driven app. Next, third one is portal app. Every time only any of these apps only we can create, only 3 apps only we can create. Either you can create Canvas app, in Canvas you can create a number of applications, in model driven, in a number of model driven applications, in portal and number of applications you can create it. But we can create only these applications in Power Apps. Okay, Canvas app, model driven app, and portal app. Okay, again, what Canvas app will do? Canvas app. When see in Canvas, there are two types of apps. It will be there. We in again in Canvas app, we can create two different applications. Okay, one is like Canvas default app, Canvas blank app. These are the two different. First of all, what is a canvas? That means whenever you choose a particular data source, automatically app will be created. That we can call it as canvas default app. Okay. That means here based on data source selection, automatically Power Apps will create application. Okay, so that means, but whenever you choose a canvas default app, okay, when you choose a canvas default app, what will happen? It is just asking the data source. Okay, if you select a particular data source, like you are having a different data sources are there, like OneDrive, like Google Sheet, SharePoint list, okay, or SQL Server. There are different types of data sources are available. Whichever data source you want to connect it, you just need to select that particular data source. Okay, once you select a particular data source, okay, once you select a particular data source, then automatically Power Apps by default it will create an application. So in that application, whatever operations you want to do it, like CRUD operations, like CRUD operations means create, read, update, delete. If you are doing any of these operation, automatically it will it will create, or those CRUD operations will be applied to that particular app, as well as to the data source also it is applied. That is the biggest advantage in Power Apps. That means user can interact easily with the data source. Okay, up to now, before this Power Apps, what they will do, if the user having, after seeing the user after seeing his data, there is some modification that immediately he need to inform to the database data source related developer. He need to inform to him, and until he updated all the things, he need to wait for that one, and after that he can see the latest one. Now it is not required like that. That means in the once you create an app, and if you share that app to that particular user can user can directly interact with the data. So that means whatever the things he want to update it, whatever things he want to delete it, everything from his side only you can do it. No need to interact with the developer. That means we can automate the things here itself. So for that, when you use Canvas default app, that means here it will shows all the details from all the details to that particular app. That means whatever the data source data is there, that it will pull the data, and it will shows each and every record in the app itself. There is no restriction here itself. That means I want to pull particular data only. I want to pull like a few of the records only. That it is not possible in Canvas app. In Canvas app, we can pull all the data from the data source itself, and we can easily interact with the data source itself from Canvas app. Okay. So, and when you choose a Canvas default app, directly it when you choose when you select a particular data source, automatically app will be created, and in the app itself, whatever things you have to do it, all are reflected to the data source as well as app. Understand? And next one is Canvas blank app. If you, that means if you want to customize the app, that means by your own you want to create it, then you have to use Canvas blank app. In Canvas default app, what will happen? By default, some screens are provided by Power Apps. With that screens only, you have to do all the things. But if I want to create my own app, then you have to select Canvas blank app. Understand your name? That means from scratch, you can customize. Customize means by your own, what you require, those only you want to show it into that particular. For that, you have to customize the app. Here itself, you can do it in Canvas blank app. Understand? Next one, model driven app. Here also we can create. Here also we can create an application. But we can restrict the data. But we can restrict the data here itself. Okay, that means in Canvas app, we cannot restrict it, right? But in model driven app, here also it will create an application. But what data is required, those only need to be displayed in model driven app. Okay, so for that model driven app, so which is required, those only if you want to show it, then you have to use model driven. Understand clearly or not? Next one is portal app. In this, you can create a flow. That means first which applications you want to run it. So that means suppose for example, I want to run a particular Power BI application, after this Power Apps application, after this Power Automate. So you can set the flow, which process need to run it first. So that means here itself in this, we can create a flow. In this flow, which applications you want to run it first and which applications need to run after. Like that, you have to decide it here. Understand? So now so in first we need to discuss about the Canvas app. In the Canvas app, you will have an option like two different ways are there, right? Canvas, a default app, Canvas, a blank app, right? So in Canvas default app, see here, first we need to discuss about Canvas default. Here, you can select a particular data source, okay? And after that, automatically app will be created. For example, I want to connect with Google Sheets data. Google Sheets data. Google Sheet is a data source. From there in the Google Sheet, see, Google Sheet is nothing but it is a storage. Like, so if you want to store the files in that particular location, you will have a different data sources will be there. OneDrive is also storing the data. So like even Google Sheets and SharePoint also storing files and everything there itself. So you need to connect to that particular Google Sheet. Under the Google Sheet, what Excel data is there, you want to load that particular Excel data into PowerApps. Understand clearly or not? So for that, what you have to do is, so first you need to upload the data in the Google Sheet itself. So for that, what you have to do, you have to open the Google Sheet. Okay. Suppose for example, see here. Okay. First you need to connect with the Google Sheets here. Okay. Google Sheets is nothing but if you connect with a Gmail credentials only, the Google Sheet credentials also. Okay. So which ones, Sandana? Like, can you show the example for these two? Like one by one, I will show you, Sandana. Okay. So see here, there are two options will be there, right? So Canvas default app, Canvas blank. First of all, I will explain you what is this one. And after that, with a practical example, I will show you. Is that clear? So see here. So now Canvas default. In this, I'm connecting Google Sheets, OneDrive, like that I will connect it and show how we can pull that particular data. And after pulling the data, how the app is created. Everything I will show. Is that clear, Sadhana? Yeah. See here. So first you need to connect with Google, and here is an option 6 like this. It will be there, right? Click on this particular one. When you click on this particular option, you will see like come down. If you scroll down, you will see an option Google Sheets is there, right? Click on this one. Once you click on this one, okay. First, what I'm doing before connecting to the Google Sheet, how to create or how to upload my local Excel file into the Google Sheet. And from there, you can do all the things. Or else you can create an application here also. You can create that Excel sheet here also. You can do it. Understand? In both the ways, I will show you. Suppose, for example, you want to create a new Excel sheet in this Google Sheet itself. Then you have to click on blank. What is that? Blank. So click on this one. If you want to create any Excel sheets in the Google spreadsheet, then you have to use this create blank. Okay. Blank sheet is there, right? Click on this one. And here itself, you can create what columns are required for this one, everything. Like suppose, for example, I have ID column. Once again, it is loading. Okay. So after preparing the data here, so you have prepared the data, right? After preparing a data in the Excel, so anywhere, not only this data source, for any data source, if you prepare the data in the Excel, okay, after preparing the data, you have to convert this data into spreadsheets, like format as a table, you have to do it. Understand clearly? Okay. So that option, like there is an option like format. Okay, like here some format option as a table option is there, then only you can apply that particular option, and after that you can load the data to this one. Like so I think so whatever the table we created, just we need to create the table here itself, and after that you just need to save the data in the Google Sheets itself. Understand clearly? So once you created, so here and go back to this particular one. Okay, so this is the sheet, it is created automatically. This sheet, we need to pull it into the Power Apps. Or else, suppose, for example, if you want to upload the Excel data in the local system, I have an Excel data is there. That data, I want to load it in the Google Sheet. So then, suppose, for example, My sheet is available here itself. That means when you come, suppose in local system, like here itself, the data is available. This is the data. Okay. Not only this one, suppose you create it here itself, like right click on this one. There is an option like Microsoft Excel worksheet is there. Click on this one and like XY test2 name, and after that here itself, see here I created ID name column. Okay, 1 2 2 3 4 and 5 like this. See like this. Once you create the table in the Excel sheet, what I told you, you have to convert into format as a table. Okay, so select that particular table, and in the Excel under the home you will see a option format as a table, right? Must and should you need to convert it, because what will happen whenever the Power Apps is connected with any Excel data. Okay, so if it is treated as a table, means that must be in a format any of the table. Like there are different options are there here. Like suppose for example, see here medium, there are different templates are there. Anything if you select it, then only see here my table has a headers also there. So you have to click on OK. Then it will be converted into as a table. This deleted data only it will pull it into Power Apps. Okay, suppose I created this one and after that close this one. Once it is closed, then what will happen? So once the data is saved here, once you properly convert into format as a table, and after that this data I want to load it into Google Sheets. Okay, for that what you have to do is, see here on the right side, open file picker option is there. Click on this one. Okay, when you click on this one, so here you will see an option called upload. What is that? Upload. Okay, so under the upload, so click on browse. Where your file is available, you have to select that particular file. Where the file is available, so test one. See here. Load that particular file into this Google Sheets. See here, this it will be loaded, right? Now I want to pull this Excel sheet data into Power Apps. Now see, okay. So here, what you need to do, suppose for example, if you want to connect with any of the data source related, okay, if you want to create any Canvas default app, under the create option, okay, you will have a different options are there. Blank app data, see there are different data source related things are there. This is a Canvas blank app. That means from the scratch what you want to display, so those related things you want to create it from the scratch onwards, then you have to choose blank app. Okay, suppose for example, if you want to connect with any of the data source related, here these are the any of the option you have to use it. And here what will happen, here it is, suppose you want to connect with any data source related data. Okay, then here other than this you have to click on any of these data source. Vijay, suppose for example, I click on SharePoint. That means the meaning of that one is it is not connected to the SharePoint. It is connected to the first, it will connect it to the data source connections tab. From there, whichever data source you want to connect it, you have to select it there itself. This will, any of this one, because only few data sources only it will shows here. So if you want to see, if you want to connect with any of the data source means just click on any of these 5 data except blank app. Any of the data source, you just click on that one. Then the next it will go to the data source connections tab. Okay, under the data source connection tab, okay, here you will see an option called new connection. What is that? Here you can see an option called new connection. Okay, so click on the new connection, and here all the data sources are available here itself. Okay, so all the data sources are, whenever you click on new connection, you can see all the data source. Which data source you want to connect it, here itself you need to select that one. But these data sources we cannot see here itself. Some only few data sources only it is available here. That don't think like if I'm clicking on this one, it is connected to the SharePoint. Suppose I want to connect to the Google Sheet. Google Sheet is not available. Don't worry. But if you click on any of the data source, first it will go to the data source connection tab. From there, whenever whichever data source you wanted, you just need to click on that particular one. Then automatically you from there onwards, it will connect to that particular data source. See here, like I want to connect with a Google Sheet. Click on Google Sheet, create. That means here, what credentials you need to give. That means whatever the Gmail credentials are there, those credentials. Because when you are connecting with a Gmail, you are connecting with a Google Sheet with the Gmail credentials only, right? Those only you have to select. Understand? Select that particular one, click on allow access. That means you need to give the user, that means Gmail ID, password, and everything. So click on allow access. Okay. After clicking on that one, now we are logged into that particular Google Sheet. From there, which Excel sheet you want to select it, that you have to click on this particular one. And see, there is a sheet one is there, right? Select that one and click on connect it. It will take some time to load the data. So for that reason, it is not coming. But when you see, actually on the top, it is loading, right? See, it is loading. So for that, it will take time because now only we created that particular data source, right? See here, now the data will come here itself. Okay. So that means that Google Sheets data, it will come here. So see, that means without creating a single line of coding, you can connect to the data source, and after selecting a particular data source table and load that particular, and that means load that particular data here it's in PowerApps. And after loading that particular data source, that means Excel sheet data, then automatically PowerApps will create an application here itself. Understand? This is the default Canvas app. That means whenever you choose a particular data source, automatically for each and everything, not only this one, for any data source, these are the default screens it will be created. Okay, in this screen itself, see here, there are different screens like browse screen, detail screen, edit screen. That means in browse screen, you can see all the data. Okay, in detail screen, that means for any particular record details, if you want to see it, then you have to go to the detail screen. Understand? If you want to modify the existing one, okay, if you want to modify the existing one, then you have to use edit screen itself. If you want to just view the data, or else if you want to delete the record, okay, then you have to go to the detail screen. Okay, if you want to create a new record, if you want to create it, or else if you want to see all the data from that particular Excel data, then you have to go with the browse screen. Okay, so we can stop it here. Tomorrow, once again, I will connect with again one more data source like Google. That means OneDrive data. Also, we can connect it and load the data. And in this particular screens, what are the different elements are there? Okay, these elements, how we can suppose, for example, how it will works, and if you want to change any design part of these elements, how it will be affected in that particular application. Okay, suppose if you want to do any CRUD operations in the data in this particular application, is it reflected to the data source also? Okay, that we can discuss in tomorrow's class. Understand clearly? So SharePoint, Sadhana, SharePoint list only we can connect. Okay, not the SharePoint Excel's data directly. Understand? When you connect with the SharePoint, only SharePoint list data only we can. We cannot load the SharePoint Excel sheet data into Power because it is not supported. Understand, Sadhana? But for OneDrive or like suppose Google Sheet, you can directly connect with the Excels. Okay, but when you connect with the SharePoint, it was only taking the SharePoint list data, not the Excel's data. Understand? It will be in format only. Yeah, see, not only this one, like see, in different data sources, format tab is different. Suppose, for example, like Prabhavati, like suppose if you are connect with a local Excels or anything, okay, when you open your Excels directly in this particular local Excels, under the home, there is a format table, directly option will go. When you connect with a different data source, Google Sheets is there. So when you open that one, that template is different, right? You have to set it where that format as a table option is there. There itself, you have to click on that one and automatically it will work. Is it clear? See, Rupali, I told you, right? So today some people are joining. So from today onwards, the actual class will be started. Some people will doesn't understand one or two times. If I explain it, then only they can understand. So that's the reason. So discuss all the things. Yeah, because from yesterday only it will be start. That means on Friday only the actual class will be started. Today, so how you can connect it, how you can pull it, each and every option. Suppose, for example, suppose I have a data Excel's that means Excel's data is available in Google Sheets. Okay, so directly I connected to that one. But if you don't know how to create an Excels in the Google Sheets, how you can upload the Excel sheets in the Google Sheet. From there, how you can connect it. What is the option is available? You don't know, right? That's the reason one by one, step by step, we are explaining. Understand? Whatever the data source we are connecting using Power BI, those many we can connect using Power Apps or any change or restrictions is there. Here restrictions is there. See, Prabhavati, in Power BI data source, all are free to connect it. Okay, there is no restriction. But here, when you want to connect, this is a cloud, right? For cloud related licenses are required, few of the data sources. Okay, so for this, like suppose for example, in Power BI, when you connect with Excel data, so directly you can connect with Excel data and you can load it. There is no restriction. But here there is a restriction. That means gateway is required for this one, connect to that particular one. Okay. And licenses are also required for this one. Okay. So here some restriction will be there in Power Apps. Only few of the data sources are free. For other data sources are must and should you need to require a licenses, then only you can connect to that particular one. Maybe some see, both are not same, like Power BI data sources and here like Power Apps data sources, both are not same. Okay, the Power Apps is a like a cloud based environment, but Power BI is a local one, like you can connect with any data sources directly without having any restriction. Understand clearly? Yes, yes. So for few of the data sources, Prabhavati, not all the. So in Power BI, you can directly connect. That means you can download that particular SQL server and you can create all the tables and you can directly pull it into Power BI. Is there any restriction? No. Okay. But whenever you connect with the SQL server in Power Apps, there are so many restrictions. That means you need a gateway, you need a license for that one, all the things. But few other data source, like they are free to connect it, like OneDrive, Google Sheet, like SharePoint list. Okay. So all these things we can directly connect to them. Understand clearly, Prabhavati? Is it fine? Yes, yes, yes. So we can stop it here. And anyone having any doubts on anyone? Like, yeah, tell me. Shubham?
Sir, I want to do the Dynamic 365 for this this course is suitable for that Power Apps.
Uh, yeah, like, see, Dynamics 360, for which purpose you have to use it?
Uh, Job purpose only.
No, 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 that is completely different. Here, this one is different. Power Apps is different. Okay. So it will just it will create an applications and by selecting a data source, sometimes automatically we can create it, or else we can create customized applications also here itself. That means in
So,
Power Apps, what we can do is user can directly interact with the data source. The main motto of this one is directly interact with the data source. Okay. So what business data is there? He is having a business data. Someone is preparing. That means in his team, someone is preparing the business data. Okay.
mm,
So but in user can, whatever user is there, he is able to see the applications, and in that applications what data it is there, whether it is a proper data is there or not. If it is not there, he can directly update it from there itself. Then automatically it will be stored in the data source itself. Understand?
okay, so there is no like front end, middleware, and back end kind of thing. Only the back end is there and the
uh,
Power Apps.
yeah, PowerApps is a front-end application. It is a front-end from the front-end application, we can interact with the data source itself. Understand clearly?
Okay, and how the user is interacting with that means any application.
Yeah. Like, see, we need to create a different applications. I will show you clearly how we can create with applications and everything one by one. You will understand all these things. Understand? So that means,
So
suppose, for example, you created a table. The table is there. Okay, in the data source, they want user want to see the data, and with the data he need to do some modification, like suppose for example, previously what will happen, they need to pass this information to the developer. Okay, and the developer need to change all the things there itself, and after that it is reflected in the front end applications, right? This is what it is doing. But now whenever the Power Apps is introduced, so from the app itself, user without having a developer permissions, he need to directly put the all the information to the data source itself.
okay, the changing the data source by with the help of applications on.
Yeah, with the help of application. applications without writing a single line of code. See, there are different applications using different tools, right? .NET, Java, and everything. But these are all for getting a data. We need to create a, that means writing a code, and we need to connect and
Application.
showing the application for showing or any updation or anything. If you want to do it, you can write an coding part, right? But here it is no need to do anything here itself. Directly it will interact with the data source. Okay. It is just like an application. What applications you are seeing in your mobile, same like that only.
Okay.
Okay. In your mobile, you can read only, permissions will be there. You cannot do anything, right? But here in this Power Apps application, all the permissions will be there for this one. Understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what will be the front end that changing application that will be only for front end things. As
Yeah. In
our role
front,
will be there.
yeah, yeah. Front end is all. See, it is acts like a front end as well as both the things. Okay. In Power Apps is acts like a front end as well as back end also, because in the back end what you have to do, you are doing updation everything. In this Power Apps itself, you can do all the activities here itself, and here itself you can see the data in different format applications, like suppose for example there is a form is there. How you need to see the form, like name, first name, what what field you have to fill it in the text box, everything like that, it will be there here itself, like that. Understand?
Okay, sir. So it is not relevant with the Dynamic 365.
No. It is completely different way.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Piyush?
Yeah, hi, hello, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to ask one thing. Means if we have a multiple row and column data, like means 100 columns and 1,000 rows data, it will suitable or it will work on that.
Sorry.
Means I want to ask if we have a multiple row and column data, like
Hmm,
100 rows and
hmm,
1,000 columns, like
hmm.
this kind of data,
Uh.
it can be suitable
So,
for that data also.
yeah, it will suitable for data also. But so
Yeah.
then at that point of time, you don't want to use default Canvas app. You have to use, default Canvas app. You don't want to use it. You have to use blank Canvas app. You need to create it. In that, you need to take an element as a data table. Okay. In the data table, like what columns is required for that one. Everything drag and drop, you can show it. And if you want to do any modification, that one, you can do it there itself also.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Thank you.
So guys, we can stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow. Bye.